Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of Furman Football Mondays, brought to you by Bon Secours, Ingles, and BMW. I am Dan Scott, your host, the voice of the Paladins, along with Furman head coach Clay Hendrix, coming off of a 42-20 victory at Wofford back on Saturday to get the conference record even at 1-1, go a game above 500 overall at 3-2, and setting the stage for the renewal of the oldest rivalry in the history of the Southern Conference this Saturday evening here at Paladin Stadium between Furman and the Citadel. Clay Hendrix talking about a win after a Saturday that beats the alternative, doesn't it? It was a heck of a ball game.
It does. Team played really well. Really proud of our team. Probably the bye week and then even into next week preparation. I thought our coaching staff did a phenomenal job getting them ready to go. And, obviously didn't start out exactly like we had planned, but I think down, 10 two different times in the first half. But, just how our team responded and played really well in all phases. Not so much in the kicking game. We got, special teams-wise, I thought we didn't play particularly well. But a lot of guys make a lot of plays. And the great thing is we can play a lot better, and we'll need to.
And you get to correct them after a 22-point win in a place that you hadn't won since 2008. So those are the kind of things you like when you can make those corrections after a big win.
Well, that's true. And I think the biggest thing for us, Dan, just confidence-wise, I'm kind of interested to see how it goes. I mean, I've said all along I felt like we were close to playing really well, particularly offensively. I think we've been pretty solid defensively most of the year, but just lacking some confidence. And, it certainly was a good little shot in how we played. I mean, one of the more productive days, even when we look at sometimes the way we measure it, we have some little goals offensively, really one of the most productive days maybe we've had since we've been here. And so certainly a great one to build on.
Well, let's start with the obvious, and that is the play of your freshman quarterback, Jace Wilson, making his first career start and handled himself very well.
Well, I think anytime you put a guy in that situation, ball security is a concern. He certainly did a really good job there. I think one of his greatest strengths probably is his poise. He just, I don't know, in the short time that he's been here, not a lot bothers him. He doesn't get rattled, whether there's pressure coming at him and certainly that's a positive for him. But, obviously really proud of him. I think his teammates did a great job of putting in a position to make some plays. He did make a lot of plays for us. And, he'll be a fun guy to watch going forward.
Well, and you need to be in radio because you kind of segued right into where I was going next. It helps any quarterback, but especially a freshman quarterback, if you can hand it to number 0 31 times and have him run for 204 yards. Your running game enabled you to take that kind of pressure off of him. You could throw when you wanted to instead of putting him in a position where Wofford knew he was going to have to throw.
Yeah, absolutely. And then got some positions where they knew he was going to run it, and we still were pretty successful. Obviously I'm not the only guy that noticed a little bit of a change in our guys, a little bit of demeanor. I think had the demeanor of our running backs, how they played. Obviously, somebody blocked pretty well. And then obviously, still being able to hit those throws. And, certainly if we can continue to run the football well, then it's going to create more and more opportunities in the passing game. So it's got to all go together. And again, just really proud of the progress we've made.
Well, we're going to take a look at some of our BMW highlights from Saturday in the win over Wofford, and we're going to see a lot of Devin Wynn here running with reckless abandon. You told me in the days prior to the game that your running backs, whether it was Devin or whoever, needed to run, the words were angry, violently. You didn't feel like you were getting that kind of attitude from your backs. We saw that on Saturday.
Well, we did, and, I think the thing that doesn't get seen sometimes, just the details of the position. It's running to the right place. It's certainly picking up the tempo and, being aggressive, breaking tackles. You saw that. You saw him break a bunch of tackles, make some people miss. And, that's what really good backs do. And we've got some really good backs, so it was nice to see that.
And even using a wide receiver as a back on that option, Ryan DeLuca taking that one in. Here's Wynn's second rushing touchdown. Tell me about this touchdown celebration, the rubbing of the offensive lineman's belly. That's a new one for me.
That is That was new for me too. I actually didn't see that maybe till yesterday. I saw that somewhere, and we don't have quite as many guys with big bellies, but he found one there to rub.
And Micah Robinson's first career interception was the final highlight there in our BMW highlight package. You take away 2 plays on the defensive side of the football, and they got 2 touchdowns and 135 yards on 2 plays. By and large, those plays aside, your defense did a really good job.
I agree. Those 2 plays and really the punt return that we missed tackles on. I mean, give their guy credit. I heard Coach Vaughn said this morning we had our team meeting. We're out of school today because of fall break for 2 days, and so had a little bit more time. But at the end of the day, though, those 2 plays count. And if there's one negative we've had, we've allowed too many big plays. We've got to fix that. And we were really close to being where we were supposed to be, and it's the same, 1 guy or 2 guys not being where they're supposed to be.
You can see the game recap with the line score and some of the stat highlights. Devin Wynn, 31 rushes, 206 yards, a couple of touchdowns. And Jace Wilson, 14 out of 23, 189 yards and a touchdown. And the added threat that he gives you with his mobility, whether it's by design or whether it's improvising, obviously made a difference as well.
Yeah, I agree. Obviously, we didn't have many design runs for him. I mean, that'll be something we'll always have in our package, but he certainly kept the chains moving with his feet, which I think affects defenses and what they do. I think we had a couple of drops. And I think probably only made about 2 bad throws. So I think really solid first game for him.
If you're watching us on either Facebook Live or on YouTube and you'd like to submit a question for Coach Hendrix for the final segment, the more extended segment, you can do that in the comments section, and those will get sent to us here. And coming up in the final segment, we'll also be talking about everything going on here this coming Saturday, again, when we play the Citadel. And that includes the honoring of Dick Sheridan, who is a 2020 inductee into the College Football Hall of Fame. When we come back, though, Braden Gilby will join us. We'll talk to the redshirt junior linebacker. We'll go down Ingles aisle 5 with him as Furman Football Mondays continues in just a moment.
When you look at a diamond, what do you see? A multifaceted stone of remarkable strength, formed under intense pressure to shine brighter than all the rest. Hard edges, clean lines, with a fire inside. When you look at a diamond, what do you see? Ingles, proud sponsor of Furman Athletics.
A big bow box says a lot about a person. Like they have a mighty hunger, a powerful thirst, and great taste when it comes to pro football teams. Game day and beyond, rep your Carolina Panthers with an official team Big Bow Box.
Make your summer last during the Ford Labor Day sales event. Now is still a great time to buy a Ford. Choose from our F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 44 years, and from the freshest lineup of SUVs in America. It's the Ford Labor Day sales event. Drive one, buy one today. Just announced. Now get 0% financing for 72 months on the 2021 Ford F-150. Learn more at buyfordnow.com and see your Carolina Ford dealer today.
With a full range of BMW X vehicles available, no matter what adventure lies around the corner, there's an X for that. Join BMW's Accelerate into Autumn and receive a $1,000 credit.
Furman Football Mondays continuing here on Facebook Live and on YouTube. Brought to you by Bon Secours, Ingles, and BMW. I'm Dan Scott, voice of the Paladins. Thank you for tuning in. And, of course, we're coming to you live from Paladins Stadium after the 42-20 win at Wofford back on Saturday that gets Furman's record even in the league at 1-1, now 3-2 overall. Our player guest this week is the redshirt junior linebacker from St. Petersburg, Florida. He wears number 43. He is Braden Gilby. Looks like such a mild-mannered young man as he sits here now, but got a little bit of a violent streak. You have to play linebacker.
Absolutely. This my coach always tries to get us ready in practice during the weeks, always trying to get us to be physical, just imitate game situations at all times.
I had an old high school football coach that when I first started as a broadcaster, I was 18 years old. He used to talk about liking his linebackers agile, mobile, and hostile. That fits your personality?
Absolutely. No, I'm always trying to stay low on the side on the scale of weight and whatnot, trying to be able to move around laterally as fast as I possibly can, trying to imitate game situations in practice all week. Just always trying to stay quick.
Anybody ever called you Clark Kent?
Actually, the janitor downstairs always is telling me I look like Clark Kent.
Well, as long as you look like Clark Kent during the week and play like Superman on Saturdays, that's the most important thing. But let's talk about where this defense is right now. And we're just talking about it with Coach Hendrix. You take out two big plays Saturday, and you basically shut that offense down.
Yeah, no, we're coming together. We just need to put a couple small minor details together and really put a game together where we shut a team out just like Tennessee Tech. But we need to come together and get the little details fixed up this week against Citadel. Option team. Everyone's got to be assignment sound. So just got to work hard in practice this week.
And when you talk about playing a true triple option team like the Citadel is, we all often hear the phrase assignment football, and to some people maybe it becomes passé, but really it is the most important aspect of preparing to play this team, because you can't play so much with your eyes because you'll get fooled, right?
Mm-hmm. No, everyone has got to be on their assignment. If one person's off, we are all wrong. It's as simple as that. So it's really comes down to everyone doing their job. So
what is it about this defensive unit that gives you the feeling, and I think most of us have seen it, it's got the potential to be really special as this season goes on? What is it that kind of is bringing everything together?
I think we're just finally getting our bunch of old guys back.
Mm-hmm.
Me, Cameron Coleman, we have a bunch of old guys on the D-line now, London Lewis, Landon Lawrence. We're really just sort of buying into what the coaches have been, all the situations the coaches have been putting us in and the plays they've been putting together for us. We're sort of buying in and just getting it done. And that's what I think is really different about our defense for us.
Yeah, old guy, it's kind of a misnomer from a football standpoint. Yeah, what are you, 21?
22.
22 years old, yeah. Old guy, but a veteran football player. Let's take a look at some of Braden Gilby's highlights from early here in the season before we go down Ingles aisle 5, get a chance to see this young man in action, including a fumble recovery here. That was a big play in the opener.
Yeah, I wish I would have taken a knee on that one in the end zone. Really just saw a bunch of green grass on that and didn't see anyone behind me.
Forgot you were a linebacker for a minute, right? Making a play, running down a Mercer back, and then here a big stuff, and we'll get a shot from behind and get to see you with the initial contact. This was on Saturday against Wofford as you help really control their running game.
Yeah, no, I really felt like we shut down the run this week. Besides that one big busted play, we put it together on that end.
All right, you ready to go down Ingles aisle 5?
Absolutely.
All right, this is Braden Gilby. He is a redshirt junior linebacker from St. Petersburg, Florida, and it's 5 questions time. Question number 1, who was the best high school player that you played against in St. Pete?
So I played against Patrick Surtain Jr., who's in the NFL now, and a bunch of other NFL players on his team. He's in the state semifinals against American Heritage my junior year.
So Surtain and company.
Yeah, Surtain, and then there were a couple other kids that are also in the league that were on his team as well already. They're in my class.
All right, question number 2. What's your hidden talent? What are you good at that maybe nobody really knows about?
I'm an avid duck hunter. I love duck hunting in the off season when I go home in Florida. Big into duck hunting. I like to wake up real early on the weekends and weekdays when I'm home on winter break and go out and shoot ducks and go fishing in the afternoons.
So good shot?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Question 3, who's the smartest player in the linebacker room?
Nikki Kazemko, by far.
Why?
He's just, I'm just like I'm big and naturally gifted on the field. He's mentally gifted when it comes to knowledge of the game and football, and definitely puts in the time and can call out plays before they're happening. You see him on film pointing directions and whatnot. He's always on top of everything, calling out what they're doing before they do it.
All right, question number 4. Take football and your major into account or out of account, whatever you want to do. What's your dream job? What would you like to do if there was no limitations?
Dream job, probably be a fishing charter or charter guide for fishing. I really love fishing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I grew up doing it. Love to get out on the water whenever I get a chance to back home, living in Florida and whatnot.
Captain Gilby, I like it. Question number 5, we always close with this one. Best restaurant in St. Pete. It cannot be a chain restaurant. Where do the locals go? What's your go-to place when you go home?
Best restaurant would have to be Fresco's Waterfront Cafe.
What's your go-to meal?
The lobster mac and cheese is delicious.
I like it. Very low-key, no hesitation. Kind of like that in your interviews and in your linebackers. Go get them. Braden, thank you.
Thank you.
That's Braden Gilby. When we come back, it'll be Clay Hendrix rejoining us, and we'll turn our attention shortly after he gets back with us to the Citadel and the first night game here at Furman since 2016. This is Furman Football Monday, brought to you by Bon Secours, Ingles, and BMW. Back in a moment.
Make your summer last during the Ford Labor Day sales event. Now is still a great time to buy a Ford. Choose from our F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 44 years, and from the freshest lineup of SUVs in America. It's the Ford Labor Day sales event. Drive one, buy one today. Just announced. Now get 0% financing for 72 months on the 2021 Ford F-150. Learn more at buyfordnow.com and see your Carolina Ford dealer today.
I learned that people are just looking for somebody to listen to them. You can't just start cutting somebody's hair and you're gonna be quiet the whole time because you're not gonna be in business long.
The South Carolina Education Lottery has provided over $800 million to help students attend technical colleges across our state, investing in a new generation of entrepreneurs, just like James.
Spink's chicken tenders aren't just fast and fresh. They're crispier, crunchier, juicier, saucier, spicier, legendary-ier. Oh, so many options. One easy stop. Spink's, making life easier. Spink's drinks aren't just fast and fizzy. They're fruitier, chewier, bolder, creamier, slushier, bigger, refreshing-ier. Oh, so many options. One easy stop. Spink's, making life easier.
Staying healthy has never been more important. Regular exercise can help both prevent and fight illnesses. At the YMCA of Greenville, we are ready to help you and your family build your strength, endurance, flexibility, confidence, and immunity with personal training, group exercise classes, swim lessons, youth sports, and more. All from a clean, safe, and fun space. Join the Y today to protect your health.
Furman Football Monday continuing here from Paladins Stadium. Brought to you by Bon Secours, Ingles, and BMW. Our thanks to Braden Gilby for being our player guest today. And Clay Hendrix back with us here for the final segment of today's show. Got a lot to talk about in this segment, mostly looking forward to the matchup with the Citadel and all the circumstance going on with the first night game since 2006. We want to start, though, with our final glance back at Saturday, and it's our Bon Secours catch of the game. You move Luke Shiflett back to wide receiver, and he pulls, among others, this one out for you, this nice toe tap on the near sideline.
Yeah, Luke's an interesting guy. He starts on several special teams for us. We've had him playing as a third quarterback. He's a really athletic guy, really good speed, and he's a big body. And, moved him back last week out there, and he showed up Saturday, and I think we'll continue to try to find ways to get him involved. He certainly helps perimeter blocking as well, just being a bigger guy. So,
but doesn't sacrifice a lot of speed with that size. I mean,
no,
he moves pretty good.
He moves extremely well. So it'll be fun to watch him down the stretch.
All right, and one final thing to kind of wrap up the game. If anybody, for those who follow Furman on social media, they saw the post-game celebration and Craig Clark's, the head trainer, his inability to carry out the spraying of everybody with the water bottle. So the question has come in, do we need to get Craig actually in the weight room? Because just dropping that water bottle and short-circuiting the celebration was unacceptable.
I had a text on my phone when I got on the bus from a former trainer here, and I go back. I found the video, and I think it might be him there. He kind of said the same thing. Are we going to have to get him in the weight room so he can handle that? Craig's excuse was, he said that maybe somebody from Wofford had used that bottle of water to prop open the door, and he said, "Well, I'm going to take advantage of it." So. But no, I thought that was a pretty good little thing.
Yeah, the laugh of a winner at somebody's expense. You got to love it. All right, let's turn our attention now to Saturday, because obviously anytime Furman and the Citadel get together, it's a big deal for a certain generation of Paladin fans. This is the rivalry, and it's the oldest rivalry in the Southern Conference. We're going to look here at the tail of the tape between the teams and some of the number comparisons where each team is at this juncture of the season. But you get a little extra blood pumping when Citadel Week shows up on the schedule?
Yeah, I got asked a lot last week about the Wofford rivalry, and I said, it's kind of interesting. I guess I've been around here so long. We've had lots of rivalries, which is a great thing, Citadel probably the original. Then you saw the Marshall, Georgia Southern, Appalachian one roll in there, and then the Wofford is obviously proximity. So, it's been a great rivalry, and I know especially guys in my era, if they have to circle one, that's maybe the one they circle.
I was going to say, when you played here, this was...
Yeah, that was a big one. Sure was, and still is. And it'll be a huge game for both teams Saturday.
You see the rushing comparison, the total yardage, the points, and again, Furman's points per game skewed because of the North Carolina State game and the Mercer game, but you can obviously add that 42 from Wofford in and improve that number a bit. Let's talk about the factor of playing the first night game here since 2016, and one of the questions we had, are the players excited about playing a night game here?
I have no idea. You'll have to ask them that. Dan, it really is something we haven't really even talked about. We talked about it in staff meeting yesterday just to get our schedule together for Saturday, because we hadn't have a schedule like that on a Saturday. Normally we're up pregame meal at 10 a.m. or 9:45, and then we were kicking off at 2 o'clock, and we adjusted that when we've been playing at 1 o'clock. So other than that, really hadn't talked about it. I'm sure they probably are. I am too. I am too. I think everybody thinks I've been anti-night games. I really hadn't. If I got a preference, I'd probably be an afternoon guy. But I think we're going to have a great environment. Jason Donnelly has done a phenomenal job. The 2 games leading up. I think the weather's supposed to be really good. Got some great things going on, and it ought to be a heck of a day to showcase our program.
We'll talk about some of the things that are going to be going on as we get a little closer to the end here. But the thing I wanted to focus on while we had the time is something that I know is close to your heart, and that's the fact that former coach Dick Sheridan, who is technically a 2020 College Football Hall of Fame inductee, but the ceremony will be coming later this year because of COVID. We're going to honor him on the field here on Saturday, have him back here in this environment that really got his career going. I know that's got to be a special moment.
Well, it really is. Didn't get a chance to do it. I know if you remember, we had the field painted in spring. Honor really him and Sam Weiss both. But, just an incredible experience for him. I think we'll have a ton of former players here. I've already heard from tons of them. I think they've got a reception schedule for the afternoon. I think the other thing people sometimes don't realize, this is 40th anniversary of Paladin Stadium, and so we're trying to do some things, for that, obviously to honor him, and that doesn't happen very often anywhere. And the fact that it happens here, I don't know if Coach more than I know there's some other heavy hitters involved, but he probably has much to do with Paladin Stadium sitting here as anybody. And then certainly the effect, I know the impact he had on me in my coaching career. And I would take an awful lot of pride if anybody ever thought they saw parts of things we learned from Coach in our program. And I still think about things that we did, how we operated. I hear that term first class. I still hear that term in my head. And so we just try to be first class in everything that we do. And certainly, the toughness and the execution part is all part of what we're trying to do here and trying to be, and then developing men. And I certainly take a lot of pride. He means an awful lot to me, as he does to a lot of people.
You played for him here and then coached under him when he had made the move to North Carolina State, right?
I did, and I had a chance to go there as a grad assistant, so to get my career started, and then I got hired back here, and obviously we've stayed in touch all these years. Talked to him a couple of weeks ago around the NC State game, and I think people, they actually wanted to honor him that night up there, and he wouldn't do it because of us and me and everything else, and that's just the kind of guy he is. And so I know there's an awful lot of people excited about getting this, having a chance to do this, and obviously having the Citadel here and night game, I think it'd be a great environment.
Well, there will be a full release on everything concerning Coach Sheridan, the on-the-field ceremony, and his induction into the College Football Hall of Fame coming from Hunter Reed in the Sports Information Department here at Furman tomorrow. So be watching FurmanPaladins.com and social media, Twitter, Facebook, all of that, and you'll get a lot of details there. The other things going on, military appreciation. On Saturday, post-game fireworks about 10 minutes after the conclusion of the game. So a lot of reasons for people to come here. Biggest one, though, is we need a win. And this is going to be another tough battle inside the Southern Conference.
Well, I think it's going to be like that every week. You look around the league. I know people love to compare scores. You can't compare scores. Every game's a little different. And, this team played this team, and I'm sure somebody didn't tell Texas A&M that after they had lost their last two the other night. So, you just got to go prepare, have a great week of preparation, and then you got to be able to go out there on Saturday and execute and play physical. And, I'm certainly I knew we've been close. Certainly we played significantly better, and I know we can play a lot better, and we'll have to. But I'm excited to watch our team going forward, and looking forward to, obviously be a huge challenge for us on Saturday.
Get a look at the Ingles Southern Conference standings. Both of these teams coming into Saturday night 1-1 in league play, and everybody trailing ETSU and Mercer right now. Before we wrap it up, when you look at them on film, what do you see? Are they a typical Citadel offense?
Yeah, I think so. A triple option. Obviously, I have a little experience with that, and they're going to try to limit your possessions. They love for it to be a close game, limited number of plays. Run the football really well, but they have some weapons. Have an outstanding wide receiver with a lot of speed, big kid, and a veteran quarterback. And then defensively, they create you some problems. They're a little bit, I don't know what the unorthodox might be. They're just a little bit hard to locate, so it creates a little bit of challenges. And they play extremely hard, and so it'll be what it always is, and it'll be a tough challenge for us.
Time to start stacking these good efforts one on top of another, isn't it?
Well, it really is. Like I said, I think our effort has been pretty good, but just the intensity level, that we raised a week ago, that's got to continue. And at the end of the day, the execution's got to meet that, because without the execution, it doesn't matter.
All right, when about 30 seconds left before we wrap it up, I'll just remind you, again, night game, first one since 2016, a 6 p.m. kickoff. If you're a radio listener, and we hope you are, we'll start with the Pepsi countdown to kickoff at 4:30, and bring your radio to the stadium with you. You can listen on ESPN Upstate in the stadium at 97.7 FM here in Greenville. And, of course, Byron and his crew will have the ESPN Plus broadcast for those of you who are outside of the area as well. Should be a good one. Love it when these teams get together.
Yeah, it should be. It's nice. We got a pretty good little stretch coming up, and obviously, starting over there last week, and then with another. One of our goals every year is to win the state championship, and we won the first leg of it last week. We need to take care of that this week.
All right, Coach. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's head coach Clay Hendrix, and this has been Furman Football Mondays, brought to you by Bon Secours, Ingles, and BMW. If you missed any of it, it'll be archived on both Facebook and YouTube. Until Saturday, I'm Dan Scott, as always, saying God bless you, and so long, everybody.